All right, those were the headlines. Meanwhile, our top focus this hour are developments that are taking place in the Parliament, where Milind Deora, Member of Parliament, has tabled a crucial report in the Rajya Sabha as chair of the Committee on Subordinate Legislation on issues of air quality management in Delhi NCR. He stated that stubble burning rules and their enforcements are key to preventing Delhi's annual air pollution crisis. He further stated that every winter, due to stubble burning, we witness hazardous air quality severely impacting the younger generation and millions of people. The report focuses on a specific rule related to stubble burning, which the committee examined in depth. Let's in fact listen in to what Milind Deora has said.
Report of the Committee on Subordinate Legislation, Shri Milind Murli Deora.
Sir, I present the 254th report in English and Hindi of the Committee on Subordinate Legislation on the Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and adjoining areas, imposition, collection and utilization of environmental compensation for stubble burning rules 2023.
All right, so of course, there you heard it. Meanwhile, viewers, what you're seeing on your screens is a visual from the kind of impact the stubble burning had. You see, of course, those flames over here. Now that you've seen that, I'm going to take you through this report and the conclusive findings that have been mentioned in the Commission for Air Quality Management in the National Capital Region and adjoining areas. This report, we're going to take you through the recommendations and observations of the committee at glance. Number one, the committee observed that by addressing the key definitions, the rule could be more effective in achieving both environmental objectives and providing fair treatment to all farmers, especially economically disadvantaged. The committee in this regard recommended that suitable and appropriate modifications may be carried out in fact designating an authority who will be able to address the grievances of farmers in time-bound manner, clarity on the terms officer for issuing challans. The committee recommended that standardized certificates form has to be prepared on the lines of challan and put in annexure of the rules. The committee recommends that the ministry may examine the suitable provisions in this regard and make necessary amendments or issue necessary clarifications, instructions for bringing clarity. The committee recommends introducing an incentive-based red entry removal system, enabling early removal for farmers actively participating in sustainable farming, practicing or government-supported stubble management programs. The committee observes that this subclause lack explicit provisions governing the utilization of environmental compensation funds, and thus it is imperative to specify the purpose for fund allocation, designate the authorities authorized to approve disbursements and establish mechanisms for monitoring and ensuring effective utilization and incorporating such provisions with enhanced transparency and accountability in fund management. The committee recommends that a new sub-rule relating to utilization of environmental compensation fund for stubble burning be incorporated in the rules so that environmental compensation funds get utilized to promote sustainable agriculture practices by subsidizing residue management technologies, incentivizing crop diversification, supporting biomass utilization infrastructure, research in the area of crop residue management, and educating farmers on co-friendly practices as well, in fact, to reduce stubble burning for sustainable farming. Further, the respective state governments, in conciliation with Commission, may be authorized to formulate and issue appropriate guidelines and notifications to implement, in fact, for the implementation of incentivization measures as deemed necessary. The committee recommends towards establishing a mechanism by state governments in consultation with Commission to determine and benchmark a minimum price for paddy crops residue. The price should be function similarly to minimum support price to provide farmers with guarantees returns upon selling their stubble. These benchmark prices can be reviewed and notified annually before the Kharif harvest season, ensuring that they reflect farmers' cost for residue collection, including labor and machinery. Another point over here, the committee therefore recommends the establishment of real-time mapping of crop aggregate and forecasting of crop maturity and weather system. The committee is of the view that establishing interim storage facilities in different districts for collecting crop residue in areas where industries or end users are unavailable within 20 to 50 kilometers would facilitate the local aggregators, agri-businesses to enable the collection of crop residue, bale efficiently and timely residue, motivating local entrepreneurs and aggregators to facilitate CRM. The committee recommends that the respective state government incentivize the adoption of short duration paddy varieties as an alternative to long duration varieties such as PUSA 44. This can include measures such as standardizing procurement processes, enforcing seeds certification bans and providing financial support to farmers who opt for crop diversification under the government scheme. The committee further recommends that the union government assesses and implements an impact evaluation framework for ongoing crop diversification incentives under the schemes like crop diversification plan, ensuring the scalability of these incentives in other states. There is, of course, three more points that I'm going to take you through. The committee recommends the formulation of unified national policy for the integration of agricultural residue into bioenergy generation. The policy should ensure inter-ministerial coordinates across agriculture, new renewable energy, petroleum and natural gas, health, environment ministries, and prioritize the adoption of technologies like bioethanol, compressed biogas and biomass pellets. It should address ex-situ costs for crop residue management, provide financial incentives, develop supply chain infrastructure and implement awareness programs for farmers, ensuring both economic viability and environmental sustainability. They should also recommend, and they've recommended that representatives of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare at various forums in connection with air pollution and stubble burning related issues may be ensured. And finally, they've also recommended that the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change should undertake periodic reviews based on stakeholder feedback and evolving environmental conditions to ensure continuous improvement and adaptability of the notified rules. So, we've now read out this report to you. What are in fact the observations, the key takeaways at this point of time, because we of course saw the kind of an impact that people in the national capital were facing. People were coughing, their eyes were startling, and this was of course a lot of it, a majority of it had to do with stubble burning. In fact, joining us at this point of time is Dr. MC Mishra, former director, AIMS. So thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX. I've just read out the report and the key observations that have been outlined. How do you view the developments that are taking place, the fact that this report has now been tabled in the Parliament?
Thank you. The report, I think it is a welcome report. They have suggested several means to cut down on pollution, including the biofuel and alternative sources of energy. I think that is where the challenge would lie, that whatever they are recommending, the implementation and enforcement of these recommendations in real life is important. And if we see the proportion of pollution contribution, the automobile exhaust is the principal contributor of this pollution. This stub burning, etc., are also there, but they contribute a small portion of that. And then the construction and dust, basically. So we have to work towards making Delhi NCR dust free and smoke free. And that is the challenge which the central government and now New Delhi government will have, how they want to go about it. If they have to go for uh, as fast as possible for ethanol, as well as the other alternative like EVs and also hydrogen fuel. So I think it's a daunting task. How it can be done as soon as possible. Naturally, this will take time. And so the report is naturally welcome, and all good things come in reports, but their implementation, their enforcement, their is what will be challenging, and it should be done with top priority if we want to make Delhi NCR a livable geographic area of the world, because Delhi is considered today the most polluted city globally. And in India also, if we see in winters, if we compare other parts of India, Delhi tops the list. And something drastic needs to be done. And now, since there will be a sync between the central government and the state government of Delhi, it should happen. And it should get a top priority, I must say, besides other problems and promises for alleviating those problems. The Delhi BJP had taken to the public in the recent elections. So I think it's a welcome thing, and let's hope, because if I again repeat, 50, 60, 70% pollution is contributed by vehicular exhaust, and then enforcement of old vehicles, 15 years old vehicles, and also sometimes people, for reducing the cost of petrol, they mix diesel into it, and that exhaust is even more harmful. So I think there's a whole lot of things can be done. Water pollution also is important for Delhi, as we have seen in the last summer, how people suffered because of the polluted water, unsafe, unhygienic water supply. Yamuna needs to be cleaned up on top priority. So it's a all around environment needs drastic measures to improve all around. Thank
Right,
you.
so absolutely. I'm going to request you to stay on with us. Before I do that, I just want to quickly put out, if my PCR could quickly show what I have over here. And we do need to show this, because what I'm going to show you right now is a picture, a satellite image that was taken today. You see it's looking absolutely clear, but 24 hours ago, those red spots that you see, those are fires that they're showing. And unfortunately, a week ago, this was the situation. You see multiple fires. Okay, so the fact of the matter is that the stubble burning, there are parts of India where stubble burning is still taking place, and therefore this report holds that much significance. On that note, I'd like to thank you, sir, for joining us on the broadcast, sharing your perspectives with our viewers. We're going to leave it there and shift our focus to some more breaking news coming in at this point of